Hello everybody, Vince Schutte here for Schutte Multimedia. If you know me, you know I'm a stickler for a consistent message. I really dislike it when someone tells you to do one thing and then punishes you for trying to do it. If you read my blog on the Schutte Multimedia page, you know I was very critical of Major League Baseball, when they decided to pay players primarily on how many home runs they hit, and then punish them for using steroids, which increased the number of home runs they hit. The sad thing is, it appears that the National Football League is set to follow the same path. Okay, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those people who says, hey, you know, NFL players get paid a lot of money. Whatever risks they take, that's why they get paid so much money. There's no money in the world is worth getting your neck broken, or not knowing what your name is, for any length of time whatsoever. But again, I still see an inconsistent message here from the NFL. Earlier this week, the NFL released a training video to all the NFL players, which explained the difference between legal hits and illegal hits. And it appears from this video that the difference between a legal hit and an illegal hit is about that far. It's any kind of distance. You're supposed to hit here, but not here. I mean, you hit them here, but not here. Hit them here, but not here. Hit them over here, but not... Now, that sounds logical, because if you get hit in the head, you can damage this thing here, which we call a neck. Or you can damage this thing here, which of course is a head, and you know that's all bad stuff, and I understand that. But if you don't want the head hit, you don't want the neck hit, you don't want this or this hurt, then you can't say, well, we have to hit them really hard right here. You have to come up with some way that people aren't getting bounced around. Because even though they say in the video, even if your aim is to hit the person in the shoulder and you accidentally hit them in the head, we're still going to suspend you. So if you're not trying deliberately to spear someone, you're going to be punished. And all that sounds really well and great until you try to do this with some of the fastest, most agile people in the world who are trying to avoid letting you hit them. I see no way that you can get an accurate target in on someone. Not like we're using computers here. This isn't Madden 11. People are physically trying to run at each other. What's really amazing from the video is that one of their example hits shows a punter getting hit completely in the shoulder. It was a legal hit because the punter was trying to cover on a punt return. He was trying to tackle someone, and a player came in and blocked the punter, nailed him right in the shoulder, and from the looks of it, completely dislocated said shoulder, because the punter did not get up for any time on the video. He was just writhing on the ground in obvious pain, which sort of undermines their message of, we're concerned about the players. The next hit they show, I think it was the next hit or the next one right after that, showed a legal hit, which as far as I could tell was completely undiscernible at game speed or even in slow-mo from an illegal hit. Because it was hit right about here. I couldn't tell if he hit the guy in the head or not. Was it a chest hit? Was it a head hit? It was shoulder to the chest. So if I put my shoulder into your sternum, our heads are going to be really close. So are we talking a matter of an inch of whether or not the heads actually clunk? You're setting up a situation where the tolerances are too tight. You can't maintain this. The only thing defenders are going to be able to do is slow down and not defend. You know, if you can't get an arm tackle on the guy and drag him down, well, you can't hit him, which is going to perhaps drive scores up, and maybe that's the secret plan behind all this, is to make sure that the scores go up. Now, if you really want to make the players safer, change the rules in a more significant way. For example, make it so that a receiver is not allowed to jump up and catch the ball. He has to be planted on the ground. This may sound insane, but the defender already can't jump to hit the receiver. You can't lunge at the receiver. You can't leap or propel yourself at the receiver. You have to be grounded when you hit him. Well, then, why can the receiver jump up in the air to get the ball? He's launching himself too, and he might be launching himself in your direction. If he's planted on the ground and you're planted on the ground, you've got a stable target and you might be able to hit him. If he's jumping up in the air and coming down, now there's so much, you're talking a three-dimensional plane where you're trying to time when he's falling to when you're going to hit him, someone's going to take it in the chops. Another thing is, let's make it so that whenever the receiver catches the ball, he can't advance the ball. Does that sound totally radical? Perhaps, but think of what it does. Now there's no incentive for the defender to nail the receiver. Oh, you can say, well, maybe the receiver will drop the ball, but there's a much better opportunity here. If the defender can intercept the ball, even if you say he can't return the ball, and they just get the ball wherever it is, it's still a turnover. It's still huge. You turn the defender into another receiver. You're throwing the ball to a certain place, and one of two people is going to get it. They're both going to go up together. Neither one of them is trying to hit the other one in the head. It actually could make for more exciting games if you really think about it, because people love interceptions. They just do. There's another double standard going because apparently receivers are considered defenseless, whereas running backs, you can hit them in the head as hard as you can and you don't get a penalty. The proof of this came from the Browns-Steelers game when Harrison knocked out the running back, but because the running back's leaning forward and he's supposed to protect himself anyway, and it's his responsibility to protect himself, that was considered a legal hit. Are we valuing receivers' necks more than running backs' necks? Are receivers not supposed to protect themselves? Are they not supposed to put themselves in a position where they're going to get killed? Perfect example of this is a play which should be outlawed altogether, and that's the pass over the middle into zone coverage. If I'm a receiver, and they say, oh, Vince, you're going to start over here and do a crossing route through zone coverage, jump up in the air and catch the ball just at the right moment, my response is, well, probably not something I could say on camera, because it would cause me to get flagged on YouTube. However, the acronym would be the same as if I said, good for you. Because every time one of those receivers does this, one of two things happens. A touchdown or a large gain, if things go well. B, the receiver gets absolutely knocked into next Tuesday. Everybody knows this. Why do they allow the play? Come up with a penalty. Call it, a defenseless receiver penalty. Inappropriate call, 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. If the receiver has to jump up in the air for the pass, it was overthrown. Overthrown pass, 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Something. Now, if you think all this is ridiculous, then we have to say, well, what is the real goal here? Right now, I think the goal of the NFL is to make themselves feel better about having a dangerous game that makes them millions of dollars. Because football is a dangerous game. You could argue that NASCAR is safer, because the players are better protected than these players are. They didn't say we want to stop seeing crushing hits. They didn't say we want to stop seeing players injured, because they showed an injured player in the legal part of their demonstration. Oh no, separate his shoulder, that's fine. Just don't paralyze anybody, or paralyze yourself by leading with your head. I still don't get that, because unless you run like Ed from Ed, Ed, and Eddie, you're leading with your head. Unless you're jogging. I tend, to run kind of like this, I suppose, and if you're running straight up and down, then that's more of a jog, isn't it? Yes, you're not running as fast as you can trying to catch somebody. If you're running as fast as you can trying to catch somebody, odds are you're leaning forward a little bit, and guess what is out there? Your noggin. That's right, the noggin is probably, you're running like this. If you're trying to hit someone with your shoulder, odds are your head's going to be somewhere in the mix with this sort of thing. Unless you're trying to do a chest bump. You know what we need here? We need a hug rule. If the defender can get his arms around the receiver, boom, play done. He doesn't have to drag him down. He doesn't have to physically stop him. The receiver can't get away. Just anything around him. It's like a two-hand touch kind of thing. Just, gotcha. Okay, tag, I'm it. And move on. And that would protect the receivers. It would protect the defenders. If you want to eliminate concussions, and you want to eliminate injuries, eliminate the big hits that make you so much money. Put your money on the table and eliminate the big hits. I would still watch the game. I think it would be great. I think it'd still be fun. It would take a certain amount of guilt away from the people watching it. You don't feel that worried about what's going on. You don't start the game going, oh Lord, please don't let anyone get killed this time, because I really enjoy watching this, but I feel bad. You don't have to tell yourself, well, they're making millions of dollars, so it doesn't matter if they're carting him off the... Yeah, he'll be taken care of. There's lots of money. We, as a people, still enjoy blood sports. We still enjoy gladiatorial combat. And if we want to say that we are now sophisticated enough to get away from that, then we have to get away from that. Change the game so you get rid of the big hit. At least make that your goal. Don't make it your goal to say, hey, listen, hit as hard as you can, but if you miss a little bit and get the guy in the head, then you're suspended. It goes without saying, if the person's deliberately trying to rip someone's head off, then obviously there should be a suspension. But this goes beyond that. This is saying that you are responsible for hitting that person wherever you hit them, however it happens, whether you're trying to or not. And that's in their video. Whether you're trying to knock them out or not trying to knock them out, if things go wrong and there's a collision, which is what football is about, is collisions, folks. That doesn't work out the way you planned it, and you injure somebody, or you injure yourself, you're getting suspended. This isn't effectual. This isn't going to work. If you want to change the game and make it safer, change the game and make it safer. Don't do something stupid that makes you feel good, or makes it look like that you care when you don't care. When you simply want to say, actually, you want to know the honest-to-God truth? What you have here is, now they can talk about the big hit that got such and such suspended, and it actually hypes the game more. So you're actually highlighting even more the big hits. Rather than spending his time trying to find a way to reinvent the game of football so that it would be safer, the NFL is trying to figure out what to do with Brett Favre, who of course was emailing pictures of his crotch to people using his camera phone. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't care about that. I find it hilarious, somewhat titillating, and good for a laugh. But beyond that, as long as he's not sending it to children, that's just, it's embarrassing, and it looks silly, and it's tabloid material. But I don't think he should try to figure out whether he should get suspended or punished by the NFL for sending a woman a picture of his crotch, even though he's married. He's looking like a fool in front of millions of people. I think that's punishment enough. And how can you talk about punishment without talking about Big Ben Roethlisberger? Sports writer Jason Whitlock just wrote an interesting piece in which he states that Roethlisberger's suspension might be the worst thing that's ever happened to all of Pittsburgh's opponents. Because apparently the new Ben, coming off the suspension, is a much humbler, more down-to-earth Ben than the one that left the locker room. And he's getting along with everybody a lot better. They like the new Ben. That should be his new nickname. Instead of Big Ben Roethlisberger, he'll be New Ben Roethlisberger. And with Pittsburgh's defense playing as well as it is, having the offense suddenly start clicking together could make them an unstoppable force, at least according to Mr. Whitlock. Now, Big Ben did mention that the new rule enforcement that the league has proposed for the head-to-head contact might have been designed to make the Pittsburgh Steelers less competitive. I disagree. The Steelers' defense is still going to play extremely well, and all the defenses have to deal with the new rule enforcement. Whatever defense is opposing Pittsburgh is going to have to deal with the same rules. Therefore, Pittsburgh's quarterback and receiver corps are going to have a field day. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to make a prediction that this Sunday you're going to see more plays over the middle for touchdowns than you have in a long time. If I was a betting man, I'd say bet the over for every game this week, and you should do well. Because it's going to take some time before defenses realize how they can play this game without getting suspended. Because no one's really sure where that threshold is. Despite the amazing and wonderful video, which I'll see if I can link to somewhere in the description, so you can watch this and see exactly how much instruction the NFL is giving. And you'll watch half the video and you'll say, yes, I can understand why those are illegal hits. And I can understand why those are illegal hits. You don't want to see anyone's head taken off. But then you watch the legal hits. And you're like, but that looks terrible too. I think they have to do something more than what they're doing if they really want to keep the players safe. And that pretty well summarizes my thesis for this vlog. I'll talk to you guys again soon.